This is QTV News. I am Marietu Sidibe and thanks for joining us. Coming up, veteran journalist Pap Sen on Thursday appeared before TRRC commissioners. The Gambia-UAE Investment Protection Agreement to promote investment, says Finance Minister Mamburin Njai. The lives of wheelbarrow men and goods porters are not easy. We spoke to some about the hard times they go through. Gambia Hajj Commissioner Chairman Usman Jah says Hajj preparations on track. QTV finds out from drivers what it takes to get their license from the police. For more on this and other stories, stay tuned. Veteran journalist Pap Sen on Thursday appeared before TRRC commissioners and alleged in his testimony that former President Jammeh was complicit in the murder of journalist Deida Haidara. Earlier on Thursday, former GPU second Vice President Sarata Jabi also testified via a Skype call. Ansumana Isonyasi tells us more.
Two journalists testified on Thursday before commissioners of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission. Giving testimony was former second Vice President of the Gambia Press Union, Sarata Jabi, and later veteran journalist and co-founder of the Point newspaper, Pap Sen. Their testimonies were in relation to the murder of Deida Haidara in December 2004, their several arrests and detention at Mile 2 prison and the NIA headquarters, and the intimidation of journalists by state agents. Testifying via a Skype call, Sarata Jabi alleged that she was among a group of GPU officials who were arrested in the aftermath of the union's response to the former president's statement regarding the murder of Deida Haidara. The witness alleged she was a lactating mother at the time of their arrest and that she was detained at the Mile 2 Central Prison with her 7-month-old baby following a hasty trial in which they were convicted and sentenced to 2 years in prison.
You told us that you went with your baby on the day that you were convicted. What happened after the conviction was read and you were supposed to go to Mile 2? What happened to the baby?
I went with the baby. I went with him to Mile 2 and he spent 2 nights and 3 days with me. The mattress was one person, is a single mattress. So I spent the night with my baby on that mattress. It was just a very tiny mattress, and the bed net was in a good condition. It's got some holes, and it was not big enough to prevent the mosquitoes coming in.
She told the commission that they were pardoned by the former president after spending 27 days in prison. Next up was Pap Sen. In his testimony, he accused former President Jammeh of orchestrating the assassination of journalist Deida Haidara in December 2004.
During that day, the appearance of Deida has changed because the first thing he told me, 13, it was our 13th anniversary. He said he was not easy at all because 13 is a bad figure. I said, what do you mean by bad figure? He said, well, for me, I'm not happy because the figure 13, I'm not so happy. I said, well, why are you not happy? He said, well, let the ambassador, the U.S. ambassador, when he comes, and after chatting with him, we'll discuss certain issues. I said, yes.
Testifying further, the witness alleged that Deida's murder has had a serious impact on the journalism profession in the Gambia and narrated his ordeal with the former regime as he was severally arrested by the police or the NIA. His nationality was questioned in 1995 and 2009, and investigations were carried out by agents of the defunct NIA in an attempt to prove he wasn't a Gambian citizen. Furthermore, he also alleged that in January 2017, there was an attempt on his life. Ansumana Isonyasi for QTV News.
The Gambia's Finance Minister Mamburin Njai said the investment protection agreement signed between the Gambia and the United Arab Emirates will promote investment between Banjul and Abu Dhabi. Aliou Cisse reports.
The agreement was signed on the sidelines of President Barrow's recent visit to Abu Dhabi. between Finance Minister Mamboure Njie and his UAE counterpart. The Gambia's Finance and Economic Affairs Minister Mamboure Njie says the agreement will deepen the economic partnership between the two countries.
So this is about promoting investment between the two countries and to be able to cement the relationship, deepen the economic partnership that has existed for a long time. But in the absence of these agreements, double taxation and the investment protection, investors were still not very confident. But hopefully we're going to ratify both agreements in September so that we will be able to see flow of capital from Abu Dhabi.
He said the agreement will benefit the economy of the Gambia, a country of 2 million people. He said the authority of Abu Dhabi are confident to partner with the tiny West African nation, judging by the stability and the performance of the economy. Once ratified, Njie said the Gambia will be a gateway to the rest of the region for Abu Dhabi investors. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The issuance of driving license in the Gambia is an area of responsibility for the police force. However, according to some sources, in the Gambia, the document is seemingly and reportedly getting into the wrong hands. Mamadou Lamin Choi was out in the traffic to find out from drivers what it takes to get their license from the police, and he now reports.
Gambian traffic is registering more vehicles, more drivers, and equally more accidents. This is alarming to not only the public, but also to some veteran drivers. Traffic rules and regulations are commonly violated by many drivers, thereby being responsible for reckless driving and fatal accidents. Are most drivers in modern Gambia going through rigorous process to prove their qualification for driving license? To some I interviewed, the answer is firm no. Also, some interviewed who preferred anonymity revealed that they have their license despite not knowing how to drive. It means their licenses reach them in the comfort of their homes or offices without seeing the police. International standard requirements for driving licenses include theoretical, practical, and medical tests. These are so clean driving. Whether one goes through all these processes in the Gambia or not is not clear. But what all the drivers I interviewed confirmed is that they were never medically certified for the road. This can get the wrong people taking to the roads. I didn't go through any medical test to get my driving license because I know that I am healthy even though I didn't go to the hospital. The police never took me through medical tests as part of their requirement for issuing me license. According to some veteran drivers, getting certified by the police to run a vehicle on the road was a long time ago not as easily achievable as it is today. The young are wrongly issued licenses without proper checks, they say. Now our traffic management image is in disrepute. Young people who do not know how to drive are issued licenses. This causes accidents, which put people's lives in peril. Now that the ECOWAS license is issued, one should be qualified enough to be given a license because it entitles the possessor to drive in all member countries. The increase in accidents is due to rough and careless driving on the roads. With a rising vehicle population, demand for more and better road networks is high, and loose screening for professionally qualified drivers is not improving but leading to lots of death. I got driving license during Jawara's regime. Testing my driving knowledge, I was taken on a ride by a police officer. I drove with him in traffic and he instantly requested me to stop. I said no because I would have violated traffic rules. When I reached the right stopping place, I took a stop. This was part of driving test. The police were contacted to these allegations, but we were unable to get a reaction or statement before publishing this story. Mamadou Lamin Choi, QTV News.
The chairman of the Gambia Hajj Commission, Usman Jah, has told QTV in an interview that the preparations for the 2019 Hajj are going on well. He said he is hopeful of a successful Hajj. Aliou Cisse reports.
Millions of Muslims from around the world are preparing to gather in Saudi Arabia for the annual pilgrimage, the fifth pillar of Islam. It is a mandatory religious duty for Muslims that must be carried out at least once in their lifetime by all adult Muslims who are physically and financially capable of undertaking the journey. and can support their family during their absence. The pilgrimage commences with pilgrims circling the Kaaba 7 times. The Kaaba is located at the heart of the sacred mosque in Mecca, also called the Grand Mosque. Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail raised the foundation of the house. Like other countries, in the Gambia, preparations are at an advanced stage in anticipation of a blessed Hajj. This exercise is spearheaded by the National Hajj Commission of the Gambia. Usman Jah, chairman of the Hajj Commission, said 7 Hajj operators were approved for this year's pilgrimage. A total of 1,700 pilgrims from the Gambia will be performing the Hajj in Saudi Arabia, accompanied by 20 officials from the Hajj Commission. The set criteria for issuing licenses to Hajj operators include being a registered travel agent with a well-established office and at least 4 employees. The travel agent must also be able to give a bank guarantee of $4.5 million, which will be forfeited if they default in meeting the expected requirements of pilgrims. Among the responsibilities of the Hajj Commission just said are to formulate Hajj policies, prepare rules and regulations that govern operators, and to monitor the work of operators. He cited an operator banned for 3 years for violating the rules and regulations. According to Jah, the Hajj Commission wants to ensure all pilgrims are well taken care of during their stay in Saudi Arabia. He used the interview to commend President Barrow and his government for empowering the Hajj Commission. On the progress of work by the operators, Usman Jah said the Commission is satisfied with the level of preparedness by the operators. He announced that there will be a general orientation for all the pilgrims at the Paradise Suite Hotel on Sunday. The flights carrying the pilgrims, he told QTV, are expected to leave the country on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of this month. Jah urged the pilgrims to strictly abide by the laid down rules and regulations in Saudi. This year, the cost of Hajj package has risen to over $300,000. Being the largest annual gathering in the world, religious tourism is crucial to the Saudi economy. It is the kingdom's third highest source of income after oil and petrochemicals. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The wheelbarrow business is one of the most difficult jobs an individual can do. Many do it because of lack of other job opportunities. Some wheelbarrow businessmen in Banjul explain the difficulties they face and how they are exploited by the people in the market. Mamjara Cisse reports.
Banjul market is one of the biggest and most congested in the country, and different kinds of transportation are used to make the exchange of goods and services easier. The wheelbarrow business, also known as puspus, are used by many people. They carry all forms of materials based including some very heavy goods without complaints. Some who do not have wheelbarrows carry the goods on their heads. Some of those we saw in Banjul market carried are 50 kilos of bag of rice, sugar, flour by on their heads, only to be paid $3 for each bag. Dauda Dabo, who is also part of the men working in the market for about 20 years, talks about why they carry the bags on their head.
The reason why I carry bags of rice, sugar, and many more is because I do not have any other work. And the work that I'm doing is not what I aimed for myself. Because carrying bags of rice, the reason why I carry bags of rice, sugar, and many more is because I do not have any other work. And the work that I'm doing is not what I aimed for myself. Because carrying bags of rice weighing up to 50 kilograms and then to be paid $2 or $3 for them is something that I do not want. It's where I earn my living and help my parents.
Amadou Jallo, who was once also a part of the goods porters, talks about why he quit the job of carrying bags of rice on his head and using the wheelbarrow.
I have been in the market for 12 years. The reason why I left the work is that there is no profit in it. Imagine carrying 50 kilos from wharf to the shop in Banjul, and the only amount that is paid to us is $30, which is small, and many of us have families and we need to help them.
One man who did not wish to be identified, but who is also part of the group, said the only thing that he wants is for the government to help them and create more job opportunities for them, because carrying bags several weighing 50 kilograms is very tough. And when there is lots of work, they can carry hundreds of bags of rice, sugar and other goods, causing them to suffer headache and neck pain. Reporting for QTV News, I am Mamjara Isise.
Press release. The Gambia Police Force wishes to inform the public that it will conduct live firing exercise at Lance Corporal Bojang Firing Range in Birkama on Friday the 19th July 2019 for its SAT candidates preparing for UN peacekeeping operations. The public is therefore warned to avoid the general area and not to panic, especially those residing in Birkama, Kasakunda and Jalambang respectively. Before we end this bulletin of the news, let's take a quick look at our main stories. Veteran journalist Pap Sen on Thursday appeared before TRRC commissioners and alleged in his testimony that former President Jammeh was complicit in the murder of journalist Deida Haidara. Earlier on Thursday, former GPU Second Vice President Sarata Jabi also testified via a Skype call. The Gambia's Finance Minister Mamburin Njai said the investment protection agreement signed between the Gambia and the United Arab Emirates will promote investment between Banjul and Abu Dhabi. The agreement was signed on the sidelines of President Barrow's visit to Abu Dhabi. The issuance of a driving license in the Gambia is an area of responsibility for the police force. However, according to some sources in the Gambia, the document is seemingly and reportedly getting into the wrong hands. The chairman of the Gambia Hajj Commission, Usman Jah, has told QTV in an interview that the preparations for the 2019 Hajj are going on well. He said he is hopeful of a successful Hajj. The wheelbarrow business is one of the most difficult jobs an individual can do. Many do it because of lack of other job opportunities. Some wheelbarrow businessmen in Banjul explain the difficulties they face and how they are exploited by the people in the market. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news. Thank you for watching.